Hello, I'd like to begin this video by thanking those of you who have sent me responses in the last two videos. I really do appreciate it. It's amazing to hear some of you are already beginning to feel more positive about life. In this video, we're going to step it up a little and begin to look at our thought processes, particularly those that are negatively affecting our self-esteem. So this week, we're going to take a look at the emotion empathy. Now, traditionally, when we consider empathy, we are considering our ability to empathise with others. However, we are going to learn to empathise with ourselves. So why do we need to learn to empathise with ourselves? Normally, when things go wrong for us, we often begin to pity or sympathise with ourselves. These emotions have a tendency to allow us to become victims and disempowered, whereas empathy is a positive emotion. And whilst it has an element of sympathy, it also enables motivation to do something about it. So how do you empathise with yourself? Well, this bit does require a little bit of imagination to explain the concept. I'm going to use an extreme example to make it clear, and please do not take it personally. The example I use happens to everybody. So think of the last time you had an argument with somebody where you really got emotional. Remember the feelings you felt, but observe the argument from a short distance and remain calm. Notice your behaviour. You may have screamed, shouted, sulked, or even become aggressive. Now, as you observe your behaviour, would you, if you are being completely honest with yourself, think it appears childlike? This newfound knowledge, is it possible that walking and talking aren't the only behaviour that you still retain from early childhood? Imagine when you observe the argument. Instead of judging your behaviour, think of you as the 4-year-old child you were when you learned the behaviour that will become your response to any perceived attacks. As you observe your behaviour as a 4-year-old, you can begin to empathise with yourself. Noting the behaviour you exhibited was simply the natural response to the worldview of a young child. Now here is the real power. You have just completed the Wizard of Oz exercise. When you peek behind the curtain, you discover the wizard isn't all powerful. You'll begin to learn to control your negative emotions. In addition to this, you've become a little more self-aware. The more you practice this, the more self-aware you become. Now your turn to apply the same process to something you recently failed and notice your response. If the response was childlike, the chances are it's a behaviour you learned as a child. In Thursday's video, we will be using what you have learned today and exploring how your unconscious mind tricks you into failing as it fights to retain the comfort of your hidden identities. Thank you once again, and if you have benefited from this video, please like and share.